Mike, did you know our movie this week, Kiss of Death, is the actual remake of the 1947 film, Kiss of Death?
I did.
That film was written by Ben Hecht and Charles Lederer. Do you also know that we did another movie on the podcast, on the show, that is also a remake of a movie written by Ben Hecht and Charles Lederer? Do you know what that movie is?
I don't know.
We'll find out next. This is Kiss of Death. All right.
I think I might actually know.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema. Sorry, apologies. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be because a movie came out that was more popular at the same time, or this film just didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about the movie, or perhaps don't love about it, but we always recommend you revisit it. You never know. Like Mike says, you might find your own forgotten gem.
Oh my God, he added it.
I used it. If you enjoy our show, Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We think TikTok still, and YouTube, obviously. We have a backlog of 300 episodes for your listening pleasure, and we always want to hear from you, and we always respond to comments, and that's all I got. We are Forgotten Cinema. Here we go.
We are wild stuff.
Oh, I should have done that. Anyways, Mike, I asked you a question in the opening.
Yes.
Because I don't want to forget that I asked you this questioning. What movie was it?
Is it Gone in 60 Seconds?
Oh, Mike. I'm so disappointed in you.
Oh, damn it.
So disappointed in you. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
I think it's one of our better short films that we did for the movie. And we shot it right here on the other side of these cameras. That's where we did it. I had a cigar in my mouth.
Oh, the front page?
Yes, the front page it is, Mike. Yes, you got it. All right. Cool. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just, I thought I was, living straight life. I had it all figured out. I had a good job. I had a wife. I had a kid. I wasn't boosting cars no more. I thought I was doing good. And then all of a sudden, my cousin comes up, goes, I got a bunch of cars I got to sell. No one's helping me out. If I don't, Jimmy Jr. is going to kill me. I need help. And, Little Junior, yeah. I said yes because I'm an idiot. And so I went to go help him. And, I got pinched. I spent some time in jail. My cousin decided he wanted to try to mac on my woman, and it was real gross.
Yeah.
Ended up trying to pick her up when she was drunk, even though little Junior tried to do the right thing and have her to get sent home. I still kind of took advantage. She got in a car accident and died. I married her sister, take care of my kid.
That's not her sister.
That's not her sister?
That's the upstairs woman, the girl that babysits for their kids.
I thought she babysits because she was the sister.
No.
Okay, she's not. All right, that makes it less.
I'm pretty sure that's like their babysitter.
Okay, that's less weird. But, so I thought I was out, but then all of a sudden the police wanted me to come back in and rat on Junior, and I was like, whatever gets me my freedom, sure, I'll do it.
Now I don't know. Now I don't know if that's her sister or not.
I was pretty sure that was.
I'm pretty sure because she's like no, I don't know. I have no idea. No, because the mother doesn't live upstairs. The mother lives at a different house.
The
right?
mother lives at a different house.
Yes.
She's going to school, which is why she's in New York.
Fudge. I don't know. I don't want to stop and look, so I don't care. We're going to say no. I'm going to say no. You can say yes, and then we'll figure it out.
It doesn't really change much in the movie.
That's right. We're doing Kiss of Death, the film that David Caruso left NYPD Blue for, kind of.
Oh, he left for this?
I will.
Because he thought he was a big guy with Nick Cage?
I think he didn't leave. He shot this film in between the hiatus for the first season and the second season of NYPD Blue, but he was pretty much, he wanted to get out of there after the first season. Cause he's in the second season of NYPD Blue, the TV show, very limited. And then he leaves cause then he goes to do Jade. So, but this is pretty much the beginning of that.
Okay.
Which, looking back, yes, it was a terrible, like it was just really just bad. Like the whole thing was just like but when I realized that he's 39 in this or 37, 38, like that's his age, that his break comes really late in his career.
Right.
So I get the idea. Like, I have to hit now. I gotta go. I gotta start doing movies.
Yeah, I can't be stuck here. For
yeah.
7
So I
years.
kind of understand that. Anyways, let's get into Kiss of Death. Kiss of Death has a runtime of 101 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $40 million. It came out on Friday, April 21st, 1995. Opening weekend, it did 5.3 million. Domestic 15, did not have an international release, or those numbers are not around. So its worldwide total is $15 million with a $40 million budget. Not great. And this is before, we've talked about this on the show, where Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial beginning of the summer movie season. And that used to be how it was. And then in the 90s, it started creeping a little bit further up to like the first week of May. Yeah. And then I want to say like Fast and Furious kind of owned that last weekend in April, the second last weekend in April. So that's when that started kind of being like, okay, now you're going to start being TV.
That Hunger Games was like April 1st. And
right.
All right, now it's April 1st.
But this is way before that. So this April 21st date for Kiss of Death is not a
summer movie.
Yeah, it's not a great slot. It's like, let's put it here before the summer fair or some. So I just want to kind of like, if you were thinking about new thinking rather than old thinking. Anyways, I said it came out on the 21st. So let's go back a week to the 14th, where you had a wide release of Jury Duty, The Pebble and the Penguin, and Rob Roy, which I like. I like Rob Roy.
I know of Rob Roy. I've never seen it.
Really? Rob Roy has at the end of the movie has that duel between him and
I had in college, I took an elective where I kind of get to create your own class, and I did it on movie fights because we had one of the only stunt coordinators who was like a union stunt coordinator at our school. And so me and him researched fight, and he made me watch the Rob Roy fight, but only the fight, like not the movie.
See, that's the best part about that fight is that he deserves it, because if you watch because he ends up having his way, I'm not going to say the bad word, having his way with his wife.
Right.
And it's the scene is so horrible because the scene is just like, oh my God, at the point where like after he does it in front of like a bunch of like his henchmen. This is like in Rob Roy's is like Scottish Highlands or whatever. That one of the dudes says to him, "They say if you take pleasure in it, it's not a sin." Like that's what he says to her after. I'm just like, oh my God. And then like, so at the end of it, when he kills him, when he has the fight, like, you're just like, get him. Like, yeah. So you're like, you're into that moment. So yeah, no, I recommend you watch Rob Roy. I think you would like it. Anyways, you also had a limited release of Stewart Saves His Family that weekend. The 21st, when this film came out, Kiss of Death, it went up against While You Were Sleeping, which is a favorite of mine. I don't know if you like While You Were Sleeping.
I saw it when I was little. I liked it, but I probably don't really.
Really? I love While You Were Sleeping. You should see it again. It's really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it came out, I was really young. So yeah.
No, see it again. You'll like it.
Okay.
I think you'll like it a lot.
Okay.
Also had The Cure, a limited release of The Basketball Diaries and Swimming with Sharks. That's a good movie as well. The 28th, the week after, you had Top Dog, Village of the Damned, my favorite, one of my favorite lines in the film, which was with Mark Hamill when he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" It's the children. Testy Turns on the Radio, and Friday, and then a limited release of A Pyromaniac's Love Story. Any of these movies sound familiar to you? Friday, obviously. I think you know Friday.
Friday is that old now?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're old, dude. You're old.
Yeah, Friday's probably the only movie I've Village of the.
You never saw Destiny Turns on the Radio with Jim Belushi?
No.
I have. All right. This film was directed by Barbet Schroeder, he was nominated for an Oscar for Reversal of Fortune. He's also done Single White Female and Murder by Numbers. Screenplay was Richard Price, who was nominated for an Oscar for The Color of Money. He's also written Sea of Love and Ransom, as well as Clockers. Did we do Ransom on the show?
No, Ransom is coming up though.
All right. I knew it was near. Cinematographer was Luciano Tovoli, who's done Tenebrae and the 1975 film The Passenger. Composer was Trevor Jones, who's done Dark City, Notting Hill, and The Last of the Mohegans. Did we do Dark City?
Dark City is on the Patreon choice for this season.
Gotcha. Edited by Lee Percy, who's done Boys Don't Cry, The Burial, and Reanimator. Right, John? Produced by Susan Hoffman and Barbet Schroeder. Hoffman has done The Believer and Desperate Measures, and Schroeder has produced Barfly and pretty much all of his films. This film, as we talked about, stars David Caruso as Jimmy Kilmartin. I couldn't believe that was his name.
Kilmartin?
Yeah. We know Kilmartin. From the TV show NYPD Blue. Of course, he's Horatio Caine in CSI Miami, which I had on before we started recording this podcast. The unbelievable nature of that show is laughable. I don't I just thinking about Horatio Caine's the character in that TV show. I have seen him do science once, maybe once. He's pretty much a cop. That's what it is. Like, he's just the officer. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I remember the first season, I think he had the lab coat on a couple times, but then after that, it was just like, yeah, we're not even gonna fake
Just sunglasses and one line.
We're not gonna fake it anymore.
Which is what we should have opened the show with.
We could do it for the end tag. Anyways, he's also in the movie Session 9 and Hudson Hawk, which is
a movie we did quite a while ago.
Season 1.
Was it season 1 or season 2?
I think it was season 1.
You're right.
I love Hudson Hawk.
Can you freaking believe it?
I mean, I remember the character he played, Kit Kat. All right, so Nicolas Cage is Little Junior Brown. He's not won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. He was also nominated for adaptation. He's in Face Off and pretty much a lot of movies.
This is our 975th Nicolas Cage.
Yes. If you don't know already, we are big fans. Catherine Urbe as Rosie. I know her from Law & Order and Criminal Intent because she's great in that show. She's also in Stir of Echoes.
A movie we did.
And What About Bob?
A movie we did.
Very young in What About Bob.
Yep.
What About Bob was 90. That's probably around the same time, right? 94?
93, 94. Yeah.
92. No, I think it's 92.
It's early 90s. Yeah.
Helen Hunt as Bev. So Bev is Jimmy's wife.
First wife.
And I should say Urbe is playing Rosie, which is, we were arguing whether it's their sister or the neighbor, so we don't know yet. I forgot that Helen Hunt won an Oscar. Do you remember what movie?
No, I remember you brought this up like the last time she was on a movie.
I totally forgot again. You really don't remember?
What was the movie?
It's got that famous Jack Nicholson line where he's the writer and someone comes up.
As Good as It Gets.
Yeah. How do you write women so well? I think of a man and I remove it.
I love As Good as It Gets. That's a good forgotten cinema movie.
Because I know I love that film. And I can't remember a lick of it. I remember that line. I remember them.
I remember lines. I remember getting the car. I remember his quote to Greg Kinnear at the beginning. I don't ever want to see you again. I don't care if you walk by one day and you smell a rancid smell and you go up to the door and you hear nothing, but the smell gets worse as the weeks go by. I don't want you knocking on my door or checking on my mailbox. I don't want you calling the police to check on my body.
All right. All right, so that's Helen Hunt. So anyway, she's also nominated for an Oscar for The Sessions, and she's obviously in Twister.
You've never seen a tornado miss this house and this house. Christ, Joe, is that what you think?
These pipes go 30 feet down. How do you know? Oh, rest in peace, Bill. Oh, God. Michael Rappaport as Ronnie Gannon, who is a complete dirtbag in this film. The comment I said to Mike before we started doing the show was like, this is one of the first or only films that Rappaport is a complete dirtbag. He's not goofy or like a little
goofy or kind of the good guy.
Right. He's like he's not a good dude in this, which is a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
He's in Beautiful Girls,
a movie we did,
Deep Blue Sea, and True Romance. Samuel L. Jackson as Calvin Hart. This is before he obviously blows up. He's nominated for an Oscar for Pulp Fiction. He's also in The Hateful Eight. He's Nick Fury, obviously.
Yeah, I just watched Secret Invasion when we're filming this because I'm catching up on all the Marvel things.
I'm so
I decided
sorry
not to watch, and
sorry.
yeah,
apologies.
It was rough.
Stanley Tucci as Frank Zioli. He was nominated for an Oscar for The Lovely Bones. He's also in Big Night, which is I'm a big fan of, and Spotlight, another fan. Ving Rhames is Omar from Pulp Fiction, Mission Impossible series, and the Arby's commercials. We got the meats. Anthony Held as Jack Gold from The Silence of the Lambs. He's the guy who runs the insane asylum, but the asylum or whatever it is, where the hospital in Silence of the Lambs, where he plays Chilton basically. He's the one at the end of the movie where he's like, I'm having a friend for dinner, and he's following Chilton. He's going to eat him and all that stuff. Anyway, he's also in Deep Rising and the TV show Boston Public. And then Philip Baker Hall is in there for a hot second as Big Junior Brown from Hard Eight and Magnolia. I think I saw a quote or one of the notes here where he's talking to somebody, Samuel L. Jackson or something like that. And he didn't even know if he made the cut to this film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you're in it. Like, so I can't remember where that was. I might be in my notes. And then you had Kevin Corrigan in there. You saw him. He's trying to sell a car back to them and they beat the crap out of him. Hope Davis is in there for a little bit. She's obviously in The Weatherman that we did. J.O. Saunders is in there as a federal agent. You probably, these people.
There's so many people that just like pop up.
Yeah, that you've seen definitely in a lot of New York based cinema, because this is obviously shot in the city. I had seen this film. Butler did not.
Nope.
Mike Give me some first thoughts.
It's fine.
Love it when it starts like that.
It's a decent watch. It's something I'm surprised I hadn't seen before. It's something that I feel like would pop up on TV all the time back in the day, and I would just watch it on like a Saturday afternoon. It would be on like WTIC or something as their Saturday afternoon movie. So I'm surprised I never watched it. It kind of follows the beats of any kind of generic crime movie from the 90s. Like it's fine. It's good. It's enjoyable. I think the story is kind of like, all right, but the characters, like the performances are good enough. Like it keeps you watching. Samuel L. Jackson's crying, and I'm like, "Oh, your eye keeps tearing up, buddy." So it keeps you glued to the screen.
He's LaShiv from
LaShiv
from
Casino Royale. Just like a bad tear duct instead of blood. The performing Sam Jackson's good. David Caruso is good. Nicolas Cage is really good.
Nobody's nice in this film.
Oh, it's a movie about bad people.
Yeah,
and people trying to use bad people for their own ends.
Right.
I mean, even the feds are doing terrible things.
The only
innocent person is the child.
But not even that. The only person that, like the Jimmy Kim Martin character, the David Caruso character, I mean, he doesn't really, his change is not, he has no like,
I don't think he changes.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like his situation is just basically a physical change. Like he's just trying to get out and go live his life. And
yeah.
But like the only character in this movie that has an emotional and a change is Samuel L. Jackson's character, because
it's Calvin.
Because he hates Jimmy. He blames him for what happened to him. Beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, I don't.
But like, yeah,
I didn't like that. But okay. I mean, I get because you want to have the change. But the dude tried to grab the gun to stop you from getting shot. It was clear that that's what he tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I got hit by the same bullet you are. Yeah, because you tried to grab the gun and save his life. And you did save his life because it didn't go through your hand.
It ricocheted off his hand.
Right off of him. Yeah. So it's like,
the same bullet as you. Same bullet as you.
So it's like, yeah, Calvin, calm down.
There are
I'm sorry you're crying.
classic Caruso mannerisms in this film.
I think David Caruso plays one character. And he's like, good guy or bad guy, you're getting Caruso.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people like that. Like that's not a knock.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a career out of it.
Yeah. I mean, like I joked before we did this. I was like, you, man, you, what did you do? What did you do? Like he does, that's a lot of stuff like that. Like, yeah. But you were telling me your initial thoughts.
Oh, yeah. So I obviously, Junior Brown, he's good. Little Junior.
The
performances are good. I like Stanley Tucci's always good. He's really good as the
another dirtbag
state investigator or whatever he is. Like the Ronnie,
he's the ADA.
Oh, is that what he is?
He's,
okay,
district attorney of the ADA. I think he's a district attorney.
Okay, and then obviously Ronnie's real good. Michael Rappaport is Ronnie. He's just like you said, a complete dirtbag, but he plays it really well. So like the performances are really good. I just think overall the storyline is very like it's just rote. It's just very movie of the week crime movie kind of stuff.
Well, it's based on a film from the 40s, so I mean it's gonna hold those same beats.
Sure. I don't think it did anything for me crime movie wise that I haven't seen before, but I do like the acting. Those are my initial thoughts.
All right. Well, let's talk about the characters then, because you already kind of talked about what you liked. I think that Nicolas Cage stands out the most. I don't know what you think.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I like his characterization of Little Junior. Like he's a bad guy. Like he works for crime. He does crime things.
Yeah.
But he does like,
crime things.
He's not like threatening to kill a kid. But like Caruso kind of pushes him. Jimmy kind of pushes him to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Little Junior is kind of like, I like his character as a villain. Like he knows his place in the world, but he's not necessarily like, he doesn't play him over the top evil. He's just a guy that runs a crime syndicate.
Well, you don't really, well, that's the thing too. You don't really understand the breadth of the Little Junior or the Big Junior crime family.
Yeah, they do a little bit of everything.
It's not.
They're like small time, not small time.
Right. They only work out of Baby Cakes, that strip club. But like what is there when they're taking those cars? When the whole thing, how it started, when Ronnie needs Jimmy to drive one of the car carriers.
Yeah,
because they're delivering the cars to overseas because they're making money on the car.
They have a guy who works at the DMV who cleans the cars, basically. Ronnie
Yeah.
chops them up, does the chop shop stuff, and then they resell them. But they also deal in weapons.
Yeah, there's never,
And they deal in
yeah,
drugs.
there's
They
not
do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so I don't really understand their organization.
Right.
It's really kind of vague a little bit. They have the stuff where they have the Ving Rhame, the Omar character, Omar from Philadelphia, coming, where you find out he's a Fed. That they're gonna do a deal with him. Yes,
Right,
so that stuff is very vague. It's very just, bad guys. These are bad guys. Who cares? And so yeah, I do like the fact that they a lot of this takes place in Queens, where they're in the chop shops, because the first shot that they show Shea Stadium, and I'm a Mets fan, so I'm like, Shea Stadium, woo! That's all gone now, and those chop shops
not anymore.
those chop shops are going to be gone too, because that's all getting, in the next 10 years, that's going to turn into retail shops, restaurants, a casino, soccer fields. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, that whole thing is going to get built, because the guy who owns the Mets, Steve Cohen, is like $9 billion. He's a billionaire, and they're going to utilize that entire area and just create this giant experience now, where you would just go there. There's going to be basically a casino in Queens.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's all going to go. So if you want to watch want to look and see what it used to look like, watch Kiss of Death.
Yeah.
That's because they shoot in like where Ronnie's chop shop is. Ronnie's garage is a real location.
Yeah, that's why I really appreciated that you get New York in this film. And you get New York, like you said, Queens and stuff. You get parts of New York you don't usually see.
Right.
They don't go, here's an establishing shot of the Empire State Building.
Right. You don't get the usual fare. You don't get the standard New York looking stuff, or like, in the Village or something like that.
Yeah,
you're basically getting like the not so great sections of a borough of Queens,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, no, and which, yeah, and but even then, like we talked about last episode with Igby Goes Down, where how, like, we talked about, you're talking about how New York has, we're talking about the
A
city,
look and a feeling and stuff. Yeah.
even like the part of it where it's not the usual and not the quote unquote pretty. It's still that character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nicolas Cage in this film is great. I think he's making a choice, like we always talk about. He's trying something new. The fact that I remember seeing a couple of films beforehand, and then he does this. He's bulked up for it.
Yeah.
He's obviously speaking in a weird way. I can't even tell if he's like nasally or he's just.
I think he's trying to be, obviously he's doing a New York accent, but then I think he's trying to be asthmatic on top of it.
Right. Because
he's giving himself the nasalness. He's giving himself someone who doesn't have great sinus.
I hate the taste of metal in my mouth. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And I like when that comes back around. Did you tell them how I
couldn't get any plastic
Yeah.
pencils?
Yeah. When he was in prison, I thought it's just, and he's like you said, he's a good bad guy because he's a bad guy. And he's not like, oh, I feel bad. I'm not going to hurt kids. He's
right.
Yeah.
He's bad. But I also like that he's not over the top evil.
Well, he's not out of control.
He's not. Yeah. Because at the beginning you go, oh, he's going to be over the top, Nicolas. This is going to be crazy, Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Because he's bench pressing. I made the joke in the last episode. I was going to bench press a stripper because that's how you first meet him, and he's going for 40. Look, Dad, and I'm like, oh God, so this is going to be the idiot. His son takes over for the mob, and it really isn't. He's not a moron.
Right.
He's a guy who lived his whole life in crime, and he's from the streets, and he does crimes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the plot of the movie, which you kind of have issues with a little bit, but I want to talk about how the inciting incident for this entire film starts off in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Yep. Jimmy, I need your help. You got to help me. You got to help me.
No, he was the last person I wanted to come to. Everyone else said no.
Because Ronnie is his cousin, and he owes his cousin, I guess. He thinks he owes his cousin.
Ronnie is the only one who took care of him when he was in prison or something.
Right.
Like that. Yeah.
So he goes and he drives his truck, obviously gets busted, and he gets basically put to jail. Goes to jail, and Ronnie's supposed to he goes to jail keeping his mouth shut, and Little Junior and Big Junior are going to take care of his wife. Appreciate that. But they're taking it out of Ronnie's cut. Ronnie has to do it. And he says $400 a month, and he's only giving her $150 a month.
Yep.
Right there. Ronnie's not a good dude. He basically wants to sleep with her. I think that's what's going on.
At one point, he's looking at her, apologizing after he gives the $150, and then he basically licks his lips and does,
Yeah, you could work for me down at the shop. I need help. And then he takes her home. She's a recovering alcoholic, and so's Jimmy, right?
So is Jimmy. They are both recovering alcoholics. Got their life together.
Right. So she obviously, because it's too stressful, she starts drinking. So are we to assume that they slept together?
I mean, she's still got all her clothes on.
But her pants are undone.
Oh, are they undone?
Yeah.
I mean, then yes.
Okay, so Ronnie takes Bev home, and then obviously Bev
takes advantage of her.
Yeah. So yeah, I always thought so. Then after this watch, I was like, did he?
I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point because he still is basically the cause of her death.
Right.
She runs out, still kind of half drunk.
Yep. Drives in the car and gets
in a car accident right away, backing out of his house.
Yeah. So that whole thing, like that, the inciting incident and leading up to Bev's death, I feel is, I guess, the end of Act 1. Like, would that be where this story kicks off now? Like,
I would think the end of Act 1 would include Jimmy for the first, not Jimmy, Jimmy for the first time going to the feds. I think Act 1 ends with
the feds or the state
going to the state rather, and being like cleverly getting Ronnie murdered.
Right.
I think that ends Act 1.
Okay.
Which I do like that because that's usually like what you see toward the end of the movie, that revenge, and it's like no, that comes pretty right away. That's like not a story beat. That's more of a character.
Yeah,
learning about what kind of a man Jimmy is.
Jimmy completes he gets resolution for what happened to his wife. And then I feel, then all of a sudden, no, wait, there's more. You're now involved in this story. Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like there was nothing keeping him to Little Junior and Big Junior, well, Little Junior, until the state came to him and be like, no, we need you for more stuff.
It's very loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He did do what he gave out state evidence. He helped him out, solved the case. And now all of a sudden they're like, we're actually going to use you for more.
Yeah.
Just kind of like comes out of left field. Like, all right.
Well, it felt very much, and I keep thinking of how it's a remake of a 40s film, but it felt very much like they stuck to that original script idea. You know, it felt like an older.
We have to do this story.
Like it felt like that kind of older movie where, you know, it wraps up something and then no, it's continued, like it keeps going and there's other things. All of a sudden there's like, there's another story
movie,
added to
fade out, fade in. Now we're doing another part of the story. Yeah.
It feels very much like that. And the other thought process I had while we were watching this film, yes, it was shot in 1995. It's supposed to take place in present day, but it felt very 70s like. It felt like a 70s film, the way it looked.
I don't know if
I don't know if that's because it's just the film grain they used.
I think it feels like an older film. Like it doesn't feel like a 95 film. It feels like an 89, 90 film.
Maybe I don't know.
But I don't think it felt like a 70s.
I just felt like an older than 95.
Yes,
because and maybe that's because of the film grain they use. Maybe it's because in Indy they use an older stock, or just because they're shooting in the city and they're shooting in like, you know, the not so good sections of the city. I don't know.
Maybe. What did you think about Ving Rhame's Omar character? Because like. So my thing is, did the feds be like, listen, we're going to give you a backstory. You're from Philadelphia. You like cocaine and cars, but you really hate the color red. That's your whole thing. That's how they're going to know you're on the level because you hate red.
But was he really doing cocaine? Like they were saying that he had a cocaine problem.
I think so. Because I think that, what's his face? I always think he's Anthony Heald. Jack Gold, lawyer Jack Gold.
Yeah.
Like, I always think he's Nick Nolte.
He looks like him. Yeah.
But like Jack Gold, I think like he's clearly working for the Brown family and the crime stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think what he does is he gets real dirt to bring up. And so when he's talking about, you know, did you have a Fed with a cocaine problem? Shoot first or kill first.
Kill first. Yeah, right.
So that if his cover's blown, he's allowed to just kill to keep his cover.
Right.
Like, I need to know that.
Which I didn't know if that was a real thing.
Me neither. I was like, this is the first I'm hearing of that.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense at the federal level.
I don't know if that needs to, I mean, I would think that would be standard. If your life's in danger, defend yourself.
Well, life in danger, but I think what he's saying is like to keep your cover to kill.
Oh,
it's like not just.
I don't think that's
like basically like a James Bond license.
I don't think that's yeah. I don't know if that's real.
I think that's very movie made up.
Yeah, it feels like that.
But I think he's being honest with the cocaine problem, and Omar does do a lot of the whole like you never see him take the coke.
It might be part of his,
but obviously acting.
Yeah.
But like the color red thing is just like that's such a movie cliche. Like unless that's taken from the original Kiss of Death, is like I was like, oh, you really hate red that much that it's like. And then at first I was like, all right, that's a bad guy cliche, whatever. And then but then he's a Fed. I'm like, Why?
Yeah, even when they showed when they first meet the feds after Omar's killed, then you find out that he was a fed. So when they bring Jimmy, the state or whoever, Calvin brings Jimmy to wherever they are,
they're dark.
They're all
warehouse
yelling at each other.
They're all fighting. Yeah, which I do like. I like that.
But then Caruso's doing, hey, I'm right here. Talk to me. I'm right here.
It's like, who cares about who?
I'm right here. Talk to me.
After he honks the horn, I would just put him in handcuffs. It's got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he has so many. It's like the weirdest CI. He's like the weirdest.
He's he thinks he's very important. To everybody, for the entire movie, he's got this air of self-importance that I don't understand where it comes from. And and also it feels like he's like they're giving him this identity of being not mastermind, but somebody who has this very
big
intelligent
plan that we haven't seen yet. And it's coming to fruition, but it's not. It's just basically he recorded people.
It does seem like he's he's supposed to be this genius, but he comes from the streets like everybody else. Was just a guy who stole cars, just like everybody else. But for some reason, is because he's trying to because he stopped becoming an alcoholic. All of a sudden, he's a brilliant man.
Yeah, I don't overall. I had the same feeling of this film as I did when I watched it back in 95, probably. I enjoy it. I loved Nicolas Cage's performance. I thought that was the biggest thing. Caruso, I always thought Caruso's fine. I like this because I remember watching it and there was that whole thing about, he left NYPD Blue because of this. And it was oh my God, he's terrible. He's terrible. And I was like, he's fine. He's okay. He's himself. I know. We're making fun of, I think we have the luxury of 15 seasons of CSI Miami that you know what I mean? We've seen him do this enough.
Sure. But I also didn't watch a lot of CSI Miami. I make fun of his glasses thing, but I really don't like CSI Miami. So I've watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
No.
I really can't stand that show.
I haven't watched it religiously.
Yeah.
Although no, I take it back because I used to love CSI. So when CSI Miami came out, I was like, I'm on CSI, and I watched the first couple seasons. And if it's on, I'll watch it just because it's so laughable. Sometimes.
Yeah, I just can't watch it.
Everything's yellow and pink, and everything's it's discolored, and the way they edit it and shoot it, it's all everything's jumping around, and it's just ridiculous.
No, I know you love Law and Order, and I don't watch Law and Order as much as you. I've seen a few episodes, but I can respect your love of Law and Order. But I can't watch CSI. I can't
the first CSI with Gil Grissom is good. Peterson.
I can't. I've watched a few. Good. It's just not my.
William Peterson's so good.
But so that when I've seen Caruso, it's all Caruso playing these kind of guys. Even when he's a cop.
Yeah.
NYPD Blue guy, Caruso.
Yep.
Very much so. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? It's shut up.
But that's yes. No, that's
your New York
Weasley.
Come on, calm down.
Anyways, where the hell was I going with that?
I have no idea because we were on Omar.
I was just saying overall I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I still have the same opinion of this film. I enjoy pieces of it. The whole Helen Hunt stuff, I'm just whatever. The whole Beth.
It's just to kind of get rid of her and then replace her with.
And I
Rosie Kilmartin, but Rosie's why are you're just replacing one wife with another one?
Yeah, and
that's why I think it's just character development for Jimmy.
Yeah,
Bev dies to give character development of this is who Jimmy is. He's gonna go to the police to get Ronnie killed by the Browns. He's not the guy who gets his hands dirty.
Yeah, let me get you some. I got 2. What's 2 critics? I got 2 reviews. The Washington Post wrote that Cage, quote, dominates the camera, stealing scenes by the sheer intensity of his inimitable strangeness and makes the film worth seeing. So yeah, Cage is the draw.
Cage is the draw. I love his scene with the strip club when the guy touches the girl. And then he gives that whole speech about how it's not easy to do what they do.
Yeah.
Cigarette.
Yep.
And he ends up making the guy dance. I thought that scene was great. I was like, all right, that's a cool scene.
And then the other one I had was Janet Maslin of the New York Times. Quote, in Kiss of Death, Caruso becomes a movie star with a vengeance. The kind of movie star he was meant to be.
How much his publicists pay her to say that?
He did so he's in Kiss of Death, then he's in Jade, which is
I have never
Jade's with Linda Fiorentino. It's I don't know if it's erotic thriller, but it's a thriller.
Well, if it's an erotic thriller, we have to do it because those do well in our show.
Yeah. But I don't remember it being very good, or I don't know if I liked it. It didn't do well.
Right.
And then I'm trying to think. Session 9 is the horror film, which I kind of liked. I don't know if you remember that. They're in they've got tapes, but they're in this old asylum that was broken down and they're lost, but I can't remember too much, but I remember liking, he's in that. And then after Session 9 is when he starts doing CSI Miami, because CSI is 2000, early 2000s.
He was on it for a long time, so probably early mid 2000s. Yeah.
And then because CSI Miami was a couple seasons after that. So yeah. So then he was just on that forever. Now he's retired. So he doesn't stay in the movies long. He goes right back to,
well, like you said, he went into it older.
Yeah, no,
it didn't quite hit, so he went back to TV.
But that's a sweet gig. I mean, you're getting paid a lot of money.
Exactly.
No, I don't knock that, please.
I'm if you have a good character that everybody loves,
yeah,
why not?
And I think he retired to go he had other ventures he wanted to do. I think he's into art, and I think he's doing a lot of other stuff. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, no, I don't. But yeah, I guess Jenna Masden's a big fan. That's great. So I feel because I'm going to ask, hey, who would you recommend this to? But I feel like I, in a sense, recommend this to you, and which is pretty much
putting it on the list.
Yeah. I wanted to do it again. I wanted to, we didn't even get to discuss a little bit about how obviously Nicolas Cage loses his hair in this film, but that's quickly been replaced. So, that's that no longer.
That's what happens.
I love Hollywood. Would you recommend this to people?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it just because it's generic, but I loved these kind of films growing up. Like I said, these were the kind of films that would come on WTIC or WPIX on Saturday afternoons. They do their Saturday afternoon night film. I absolutely would have watched this growing up as a kid if this was on TV. I think this is a decent crime film. It's a little by the book, but I think the performances are pretty good. Nicolas Cage is great. It keeps your attention. Samuel L. Jackson's good, but he's always good. Even in Secret Invasion, which I didn't like, it's not his fault. He's still good. Samuel L. Jackson, I think, is solid in everything he's in. If you're watching a movie and Sam Jackson's in it, at least Sam's going to be good.
Django!
I enjoyed it. It kept my attention. It kept me watching it.
This is one of those films.
Yeah, I like it. I would recommend it to, I guess not 20 somethings that can't watch anything from the 90s. Oh, but other than that, I think people slept on it. I think we'll get into why it's forgotten, but it is forgotten. So I think a lot of people that I know could watch this and enjoy it, and it would be a fine watch.
This is one of those films that I wish it was with a collection of 10 other indie crime drama movies.
You want a double disc DVD with Kiss of Death / something,
right? Sure. I would love 10 other films like this that are decent, that have good acting in it, that have a decent story, and it's a quick hour and a half, hour and 40,
like a Carousel on Netflix, 90s,
right? Yeah,
Carousel.
that would be. I think there's a place for this type of film. Mm-hmm. Not every film's going to be an Academy Award winner, obviously.
Right.
But I think there's a place for this type of crime that I don't think there is a lot of there's not a lot of crime drama anymore. It becomes crime action, like the Jason Statham films, like the Liam Neeson when he was doing the.
No, I think there's crime drama, but it's not crime drama like this anymore. It's crime drama where we talk about the bad guy's feelings. And it's okay,
and their TV shows.
Where are they at? Yeah, and where are they at mentally? And I think part of that stems from The Sopranos. As good as Sopranos is, it kind of ruined.
Good.
It ruined films like this or stories like this because now it's all right. So if you want to do a crime drama, it's all about getting into the psyche of the character, and maybe that'll end at some point. But I think that's still where we're at now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, why is it forgotten?
It didn't make any money. David Caruso is
right here. I'm right here.
CSI Miami guy, and he's gone off and kind of disappeared. And I think people my age or younger don't really know who he is. I think people
They know him as Horatio Caine.
I think people my age do. I don't think anybody younger does. I think the people my age just know him as putting on the sunglasses and going,
Yeah, he's in countless memes, so they've got to know him.
So, but I don't think they know him as him.
As
they just
person?
know him as Horatio Caine. So I think that's a reason. Honestly, like every Nicolas Cage and Sam Jackson movie we do, they're in a billion films. I mean, this is Sam Jackson's third film in a row, like within a year, I think the notes say.
He's working.
That he just filmed in New York.
Well, this is when he first, like, he's
starting to blow up. He's already done Jurassic Park and stuff at this, and Pulp Fiction. So he's already become Sam Jackson, but now he's becoming Sam Jackson.
This came out, what did I say, April? No, because Die Hard with a Vengeance comes out. Die Hard with a Vengeance
then it
comes out
becomes
this
Zeus,
summer.
and then it really
and
blows
that's the movie that
really blows him up.
Yeah. Because he already done Pulp Fiction. And I remember, I think I remember reading an interview with Sam Jackson where Bruce Willis tells him, after this film comes out, your life's going to change.
Right,
He's like,
right.
what are you talking about? And he's like, no, after this movie comes out, your life is going to, your life's going to change. Your movie star. And it did. And I was like, so I do remember that. So yeah, so he has not become, he's about to become what
Sam
he is now.
Jackson.
Yeah, which is cool.
He said, "Hey Zeus," not "Hey Zeus." Do I look Puerto Rican to you? God, I love his character from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is good.
No, I love Die. It's like, I know you're gonna hate me for it.
Oh no.
But I will say it's just
No.
Die Hard.
Oh,
I have them on equal levels, just like I do Raiders and Last Crusade.
have that. You can't do that.
If I grew up watching both movies at the same time with no concept of what came first, then I can do that, and I do that. Then I have clarity.
I don't sit
Then
here-
I have clarity of
No,
mind.
You know what? You either. Here's the thing. Everybody says that Empire Strikes Back is better than Star Wars, right?
Most people, yeah.
Yes. No one says I like them both equally. So put your butt in the hot seat and say if it's better than Die Hard. Don't say it's equal footing. If you say it's better.
Okay. Then I think Die Hard with a Vengeance is better than Die Hard.
That's incorrect. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. And you're going to piss me off. No, absolutely not. Die Hard is a seminal moment in action films.
I don't disagree with that.
It changed action films. Did Die Hard with a Vengeance change action films?
That's 100% fair. But if you were my age,
right,
and you had watched both films simultaneously, like I don't even know which one I watched first. Like you would have an opinion that's not biased toward either of those.
So your parents showing you the movie the wrong way, showing you Die with a Vengeance first.
I might have seen Die Hard, so I don't remember.
So we're blaming them.
I watched it so young that I don't know which way.
How dare you? How dare you? I saw Temple of Doom before I saw Raiders, and
Temple of Doom is nowhere.
Well, I
near
saw
as good
Temple of Doom in my young life, where
that's nowhere near as good as Raiders.
And I saw Raiders again after that, and I still liked Raiders, so I recognized greatness.
Because Raiders is greater than Temple of Doom.
When's the last time you watched Die Hard?
Just this Christmas.
Listen,
I'm not saying I don't like Die Hard.
I love Die Hard. I like Die Hard with a Vengeance, but it is preposterous how he figures out there in Canada. That is when he just you got any aspirin? I've had a headache all day. Oh, hey, what? No, BS. It's preposterous that he gets them in Canada. There's no way. Die Hard is perfect. Die Hard is almost perfect film. Get out of here. Don't come at me with Die Hard with a Vengeance is good at Die Hard. Come, no.
I knew that would set you off.
God. Why are we saying this for now again?
Don't even remember. Oh, because Nicolas Cage and Sam Jackson and everything. And other than that, it's just kind of a generic crime movie. So
Right.
It just gets buried in there. It's over. It's like Nicolas Cage is really good in this. But yeah, Nicolas Cage is really good in everything. He's even good in the crap movies that he does to make up for his
So
tax
what's funny is that us looking back, we're like, oh, he's great. Like when we talk about Peggy Sue Got Married.
Sure, yeah.
Go watch that. When when we talk about that, we're like, we love the fact of what he's doing, but when he's doing it, everyone hates it.
Yeah.
So I think there is now an appreciation for the stuff that he's doing because he's an actor who's trying things. We talk about this. I don't want to go down that road again. We talk about this in the Peggy's Who Got Married episode.
Yeah, you can not like a performance, but you can appreciate the
but yeah,
trying.
but as he's doing it, I don't think people are digging it. But when we look back at his filmography, I think we just love that he's trying that. So yeah.
It shows that he's not just like he always says he didn't want to be a Coppola and like rest on those laurels, and he doesn't. He really loves his craft. And takes it very seriously.
I mean,
that's great.
Go watch Dream Scenario. Where
I really want to see that.
He's like it's just a different Nicolas Cage performance. It's just because he's an older man, he's balding and he's got no hair, and he's just like he's kind of a bit of a loser a little bit. It's fun. Anyways, I will now always start a sentence with you going, hey, what's the what? I'm always going to do that.
When they said that, I was like, oh, really? They're going to say that?
But I love it. I was just like, oh, all right. Hey, what's the what? Always. That's what I should have started off this with, hey, what's the what?
I love that. What the Ronnie gets murdered to jump around.
Oh, I know when they're shutting like and he's all upset that he got blood in his new stereo.
Yeah, that stereo is awesome, man. Both things closed, the disc, the cassette deck, and then the top to protect the cassette deck. I was like, that's an awesome boombox.
But I love the fact that they do this in the open and they still wrap up the body and they still walk out to the trunk in the day
while their people are working in the garage with the doors open. Because they're probably like, oh, that's Junior. All right, who cares? All right. Plus, I'm sure Junior owns that shop. Ronnie probably just runs it, but I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they own. I think they own a lot of those.
Yeah, it's all probably his property.
But again, that goes back to what we talked about before. Like, what's the organization? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, is there somebody above Junior?
Yeah. All right, Mike. You pissed me off. All right, so tell us where they can find us. Tell everyone where they can find us.
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts or shows. Where you're there, right? Comment. What's your favorite Nicolas Cage? What's your favorite Nicolas Cage film? Well, you know, what's your favorite David Caruso film? Let us know.
I'm right here.
Below.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm right. Talk to me. What did you do?
That would be like if we were doing the short film. That would be true. I'm right here.
You keep saying I'm right here, and I would keep saying, "What did you do? What did you?"
I'm right here. What did you do, Mike?
What did you do?
What did you do? I'm right here. I'm right here.
Or if you want to hear us ramble more, we're on Patreon. We've got exclusive episodes for you there. We also do other episodes, not just the main show. We do now showings where we look at brand new films. We do look backs where we do films that are leading up to new releases coming out, or we have our exclusive like look back shows and other shows on actual Patreon. If you want to join us there, we also have a merch shop if you want to support us further.
Awesome. Yes. And join us next week as we're going to 1999. Some say the best year in cinema.
That's what they say.
We're going to be watching the cyber thriller, cyberpunk mystery sci-fi film, The 13th Floor. So that is.
I'm very excited to watch this because I wanted to watch it when it first came out. Because when I was growing up, I was like, oh man, this looks trippy. Then The Matrix came out and I was like, was 13th Floor just kind of like a Matrix kind of film? So I've no concept of this film other than I've always wanted to watch it.
I remember liking this movie. I remember some parts of this film. But that's it. I know D'Onofrio's in it. I know he's the bad guy a little bit.
Ooh, D'Onofrio's.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You know it's about time travel, right?
I do know it's about time travel or simulation theory or something like that.
Yeah, they go back to.
I did not know D'Onofrio was in it.
You want me to read the thing to you?
Yeah, go ahead. What's the logline? Go ahead.
Computer scientist Douglas Hall unknowingly gets involved in the murder of his colleague, Hannon Fuller, a computer genius who was killed just before the testing of his newly launched virtual reality simulation program.
Ooh, I like it.
That's next week to the 13th Floor. Listen, if you want to put in the comments of this how Mike is wrong about Die with a Vengeance, I welcome it.
I'm sure people will disagree with me.
But if you want to put in the comments that you agree with him, bring it on. I'm just joking. Everyone has their own opinion. That's
I'm
fine.
not a monster.
But you are just friggin' wrong. All right, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema. Die Hard is better.
There's a difference between hating one's brother and not caring when some dumb Irish flatfoot knocks them off a 30-story building. Anybody got tonight's Salados on this?
Hey everyone, thank you for watching the discussion of Kiss of Death. If you are in a dour mood, perhaps you'd like to watch us talk about A Walk Among the Tombstones, another barn burner right there.
And if you just want to keep it Nicolas Cagey, we've got Gone in 60 Seconds. Not a bummer. Pretty fun summer flick. That's going to be right above me right there. Check that out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.